Hey everyone, thank you for being with me today. My name is Miss Midkiff and I work with Susie in a special education setting. Today I'm going to explain the test results that were completed for Susie, and I will also talk about what the tests actually measure, what the results mean, and how we can better support Susie at school. Our goal is to understand how Susie learns and how we can help her be successful. So as you can see, we used more than one test, and that is simply because one test cannot tell us everything that we need about a child and student. Each test looks at learning in a different way. We also looked at Susie's classroom work, her teacher input, and some parents' concerns, using many tools to help us make fair and accurate decisions about Susie's learning goals. So I'm going to go over the different tests that were given. First, Susie took a thinking skills test called the WISCV. This test shows how a child thinks, remembers, and works with information. Susie showed strengths in understanding language and solving visual problems. She did have more difficulty with remembering information that she hears and being able to work quickly. Next, Susie took an academic test called the Woodcock-Johnson. This test looks at reading, writing, and math skills. Susie had a lot of difficulty with reading and writing, especially when it came to sounding out words, reading smoothly, spelling, and understanding what she was reading. Her reading and writing skills are below grade level for her, and her math skills were a bit stronger. She does understand math pretty well. Susie also took a listening and sound test called the Test of Auditory Perceptual Skills. This test checks how well a child hears, remembers, and understands sounds. So Susie did have trouble remembering words and sounds, which makes reading a little bit harder. But we also looked at Susie's classroom work, watched her in class, and talked with her teachers and parents. Susie does try really hard. She behaves really well and stays on task. She has more trouble finishing work during reading time, but does better with that during math. So what these results show is that based on the information, Susie has a specific learning disability in reading and writing. This means that her brain has trouble connecting sounds to letters. This makes reading and spelling really difficult. This is not because she's not trying. Susie works really hard and she does want to do well. It's just with her difficulty continuing that it does prevent her from understanding what she's reading, and she is going to need a little bit of extra help with reading, which shows that she does need specialized support. Some supports and technology that we can offer Susie here at school is extra time for reading and writing assignments. She can also have small group reading lessons, reading directions out loud, visual supports to go with spoken lessons, peer help when it's appropriate, and then technology that we can use to help Susie are listening to books online, which would offer text-to-speech, using audiobooks, using text-to-speech when she is writing on her Chromebook, and then using reading programs that focus on phonics specifically. These supports will help Susie learn without lowering the expectations. So the next steps that we will look at is that all testing is followed with the special education laws and ethical rules. These tests were used fairly, and they included parents and decisions. They protected the privacy of the student and used many sources of information. Every decision was made with Susie's best interest in mind. Susie is kind. She's a capable student with many, many strengths. With the right support, she can continue to grow and succeed. Thank you for working together to support Susie.